Something's off with Derek Bieri, and his fans feel it in their gut. The man who once brought rust-covered corpses of cars roaring back to life with grit and a grin has gone oddly quiet. Missed uploads, evasive messages, a shadow settling over his once vibrant presence online. But what happened to the heart and soul of Vice Grip Garage? Is it burnout? A personal crisis? Or is there something even deeper? Something quietly unraveling behind the scenes that even Derek hasn't fully revealed? The silence isn't just puzzling, it's loud. And it's got everyone asking the same question. Where did Derek Bieri go? For years, Derek has done more than restore old vehicles. He's revived memories, reignited passion, and carved out a movement that values imperfection over polish. While the rest of the world idolized sleek models and digital shortcuts, Derek took a different road. Gravelly, unpredictable, but always authentic. He reached into the past, pulled out the neglected, the rusted, the seemingly worthless, and turned them into roaring masterpieces. His tools weren't shiny, his hands were never clean, but his mission was always clear. Give what's broken a second chance. That ethos wasn't just about cars. It resonated with millions of people who saw their own forgotten dreams in the dust-covered frames he dragged back to life. When he relocated from Minnesota's icy garages to the warmer embrace of Tennessee, many thought it was just a weather move. But it wasn't about sunshine. It was about values. Derek and his family were chasing a lifestyle that allowed them to reconnect, not just rebuild. Tennessee gave them the space to breathe, to create, and to live by their own rules. But even as life seemed to align perfectly, cracks began to show. A subtle shift. A silence that grew louder with every passing week. And then, the upload stopped. Derek's story was never just mechanical. Every bolt tightened, every engine turned over, was a metaphor. His channel wasn't merely content, it was a testimony to resilience. People weren't just watching repairs, they were watching redemption. The absence of Derek on screen then wasn't just missed entertainment. It felt like losing a guidepost in a chaotic world. That absence started a ripple across his fan base. And in that stillness, questions multiplied. Did health issues creep in? Was it a financial stumble? Or something even more private, more painful? But let's take a closer look at the man behind the camera, because his influence stretches beyond a garage full of tools. Derek Bieri built Vice Grip Garage from the ground up, using more sweat than sponsors, more ingenuity than investors. The channel grew from humble beginnings into a massive brand, now followed by millions across the globe. He became more than a gearhead. He became a symbol of DIY grit. And with that fame came business opportunities. Derek tapped into merchandising, automotive brand partnerships, and even began investing in real estate across Tennessee. Reports suggest he owns multiple properties, including a sprawling home with ample land for car storage, content creation, and private family moments away from prying eyes. His passion for classic rides extended into his lifestyle. Derek has been spotted driving several restored vintage beauties, including a 1969 Camaro and a 1971 C10 truck. But he's not about flashy flexes. His luxury is subtle, grounded in craftsmanship and nostalgia. While he doesn't flaunt designer watches or yachts, he is known to invest in quality tools, classic Americana memorabilia, and a few rare collectible car parts that some say are worth more than modern sports cars. As for private jets, that's not Derek's style. He'd rather hit the road in a refurbished RV, windows down, engine humming, freedom in his rear view. Still, financial responsibility has always been part of his blueprint. Industry insiders hint at a robust personal insurance plan, covering not only health and property, but also liability protection for his growing brand. His business arm reportedly includes commercial insurance to protect his assets, intellectual property rights, and even emergency plans for on-set mechanical mishaps. He's not just wrench smart, he's wealth smart. A man who knows that passion can build empires if protected correctly. His insurance strategy isn't just about risk, it's about resilience. Derek's experience is a lesson for anyone building something from scratch. Always protect what you create, even if it's built with calloused hands and borrowed time. And maybe that's part of the mystery. Maybe Derek has taken a step back to reassess not just his content, but his future. Burnout doesn't just affect the mind, it challenges the soul. Perhaps the man who restored everything around him finally needed time to restore himself. His journey is a roadmap, not just for mechanics, but for dreamers. The financial path Derek took, focusing on authenticity, avoiding unnecessary splurges, investing in his brand and his family's stability, is a playbook in long-term wealth building. He never chased luxury to show off. He chased purpose, and wealth followed. That's a lesson in itself. Value drives income more than vanity ever could. One of the most powerful videos on his channel wasn't the most flashy. It was a quiet rescue, a 1968 Buick LeSabre dragged from a barn and coaxed back to life. No high-end paint job, no million-dollar build. Just raw emotion, perseverance, and the unmistakable roar of a forgotten engine breathing again. That clip didn't just draw millions of views, it drew hearts. Because Derek didn't just restore a car, he resurrected a dream, and people felt that. Another fan favorite was the Monza race car build from 2019. Derek bought it for dirt cheap, avoided fancy upgrades, and used pure skill to transform it into something roadworthy. It wasn't just an episode, it was a masterclass in creative budgeting. It reminded viewers that with enough drive and patience, the road doesn't have to be paved with gold. It just needs to be paved with purpose. But lately that purpose seems paused, and while the silence is deafening, the legacy Derek's built speaks louder than ever. Even as uploads dwindle and updates grow scarce, fans continue watching, rewatching, and wondering. They don't just miss the content, they miss the connection. Because Derek Bieri didn't just bring cars back to life. He brought us all back to something real, something hopeful, something human. Whatever Derek is facing, one thing is certain. He's not forgotten. He built more than a garage. He built a community. And if his story has taught us anything, it's this. Even when something looks stalled, it might just be warming up for the next big ride. Derek Bieri never set out to be a celebrity. Yet today he's not only a beloved automotive YouTuber but also a symbol of what it means to defy expectations and build something lasting from the ground up, literally and metaphorically. Long before Vice Grip Garage became a household name among gearheads and weekend tinkerers, Derek was just a kid surrounded by dust, engines, and grit in North Dakota. And while the world now watches him bring broken-down vehicles back to life, the story behind the camera, the man, the journey, and the raw sacrifice hits just as hard as the roar of an engine finally firing up after years of silence. It wasn't just experience that shaped Derek. It was survival. In a world where everything can be bought new, he learned the art of restoring what others had already discarded. That mindset didn't just mold his mechanical skills, it built the foundation for a resilient life. Every scraped knuckle, every stubborn bolt, was a lesson in patience and determination. But here's the twist. For a while, Derek left that life behind. Like many chasing stability, he wore the uniform of corporate America, buried his instincts beneath spreadsheets, and played the part of the responsible adult. But no amount of air conditioning or boardroom applause could drown out the sound of a carburetor calling his name. When he stepped away from his office job in 2018, it wasn't a grand exit. No golden parachute, no viral announcement, just a man choosing authenticity over safety. And that quiet decision was the spark that ignited Vice Grip Garage. He didn't come in flashy, no paid promotions, no celebrity cameos. Just Derek, his camera, and a car most people had forgotten. That first breakout video, a battered 1969 Camaro Z/28, didn't go viral because of flawless cinematography. It struck a nerve because it was real. That's the power of truth in a world addicted to filters. Derek's rise wasn't a straight road. It was a winding highway with plenty of detours. But with every rusted frame he restored, his audience grew, not just in numbers, but in loyalty. Fans weren't watching for perfectly buffed exteriors. They came for the underdog grit, the long nights, and the honesty of a man who never pretended to have it all figured out. That authenticity, the rare kind that makes people believe in themselves again, turned his garage into a global community. And behind the scenes, Derek's success wasn't solo. Jessica, his wife, is his quiet co-engineer in life. While she may not be front and center in every video, her presence is felt in every organized trip, every packed trailer, and every moment of calm in chaos. Whether she's handling logistics or wrangling their kids during a road trip for another car revival, Jessica's impact is woven into the steel and soul of Vice Grip Garage. As his fame rose, so did his earnings. But Derek never flaunted it. He doesn't walk around with diamond watches or parade luxury supercars. His taste is rooted in utility, history, and craftsmanship. Still, his financial success is undeniable. From modest beginnings, Derek's estimated net worth has steadily climbed over the years, crossing $1.5 million by 2024. Considering the continued growth of his channel, sponsorships, merchandise, and live appearances, that figure is projected to surge past $2.5 million within the next few years, if not higher. His approach to money reflects his roots: practical, sustainable, and passion-driven. His real estate choices mirror this mindset. Rather than opting for some Beverly Hills mansion, Derek invested in a sprawling rural property, complete with barns, workshops, and open land. It's not just a home, it's a creative powerhouse where content is born, engines are rebuilt, and life is lived at full throttle. The property, currently valued at around $800,000, is more than an asset. It's his canvas. When it comes to vehicles, Derek's garage tells a richer story than any luxury showroom. From a fully restored 1970 Chevelle SS to a dusty, almost forgotten Buick Electra, his collection isn't about price tags. It's about purpose. That said, a few gems stand out. A meticulously rebuilt 1974 Corvette Stingray and a 1985 Chevy Square Body, both of which draw crowds at every show. While he doesn't lean into high-end fashion, Derek is occasionally spotted wearing vintage, rugged timepieces, like a classic Seiko automatic or a worn-in Hamilton khaki field watch. Functional, dependable, and built to last, just like the man himself. But don't mistake his humility for stagnation. Derek has recently teased plans to expand Vice Grip Garage into a multi-platform brand, potentially launching an online restoration course and even partnering with manufacturers to develop affordable tools for aspiring mechanics. This isn't just content anymore, it's a movement. And if the trajectory continues, Derek's empire could easily rival major automotive brands in community influence and reach. Still, fame and fortune haven't insulated him from hardship. A recent revelation stunned his followers. Derek disclosed the sudden loss of a close family member. While he didn't go into graphic detail, the pain was clear. His usual wit was subdued, and his eyes told a story of grief and reflection. Rather than retreat from the spotlight, he used that moment to connect even deeper with his audience, reminding them that even heroes of the garage are human. That kind of vulnerability only made people admire him more. In a space dominated by overproduced content, Derek's strength lies in his imperfections. His content isn't just about reviving engines, it's about restoring belief, in second chances, in unpolished dreams. in the beauty of choosing passion over predictability. Every project he undertakes is a story, one filled with dust, doubt, and ultimately, triumph. At 40, Derek Bieri stands not only as a mechanical genius, but as a cultural force. From a rural boy wrenching in a dimly lit barn to a digital icon leading a global community, his journey is the blueprint for building something timeless without losing yourself in the process. And as long as there are forgotten cars waiting for a second shot at life, Derek will be there. Camera in one hand, wrench in the other, reminding us that purpose doesn't come pre-assembled. You build it, bolt by bolt, day by day. What makes Derek's story compelling isn't just what he builds, it's how he builds it. His version of success doesn't shine under studio lights or echo in red carpet applause. Instead, it hums in the quiet of a cold garage, where lessons are handed down between father and son, where failures aren't edited out but embraced as part of the process. There's a magnetism in watching someone turn discarded metal into a moving story, especially when that person doesn't pretend to have all the answers. And it's that honest vulnerability that's helped his audience grow into a fiercely loyal community. But what's equally captivating is how Derek's grounded values intersect with his unexpected rise in wealth and influence. The man who once scraped together savings for used parts now stands at the helm of a growing financial empire. Though he never chased excess, success found him, just in his own way. Estimates place Derek's current net worth around $2.5 million, a figure that has steadily climbed thanks to consistent YouTube revenue, brand partnerships, and merchandise sales. But more impressive than the number is how he's managed that wealth. Rather than splurge on image, Derek invested in longevity. And that's where the real luxury begins. Derek's real estate journey started with humble land for filming, but today, his properties include several sprawling garage setups across Tennessee and Kentucky. One of his largest investments is a 20-acre countryside estate, where he's developing a fully equipped restoration hub, part business, part family retreat. Valued conservatively at over $1.2 million, these spaces reflect not extravagance, but function and purpose, built to fuel his mission and house his legacy. While he isn't one to flaunt riches, his passion for vintage vehicles has led to a surprisingly impressive car collection. From a restored 1969 Camaro to a rare Dodge Charger, and even a few classic pickups, Derek's garage isn't about flash, it's about heritage. Among his favorites is the iconic Fox Body Mustang, which marked a pivotal moment in his career. And while you won't see him racing Ferraris through Beverly Hills, he does own a custom RV setup and a heavy-duty transport trailer system valued at over $250,000, his version of mobility and luxury combined. In terms of wristwear, Derek keeps things simple but meaningful. While not known for flaunting high-end brands, he's occasionally seen wearing a rugged Breitling Avenger, a nod to durability and adventure. It's not about glitz, but about gear that endures. And when it comes to air travel, while not yet owning a private jet, Derek frequently charters regional flights for shoots and family travel, hinting at the growing scale of his business operations. Speaking of business, Derek has been quietly expanding his empire beyond YouTube. He holds ownership stakes in a Midwestern parts supplier, has a partnership with a specialty tool manufacturer, and recently launched a limited edition car care product line under the Vice Grip name. When storms came, like the theft that shook his foundation or the internet-fueled rumors that tried to distract him, he stood taller. The $55,000 bounty his fanbase raised after his stolen carburetor incident wasn't just a gesture, it was a testament to trust. And speaking of family, Derek's wife Jessica remains his silent powerhouse, managing logistics, schedules, and the emotional gravity of their empire. Her decision to stay behind the scenes doesn't reduce her impact. It multiplies it. Meanwhile, their son's channel, Little Grip Garage, is proof that legacy isn't something you inherit. It's something you build beside the people who came before you. Derek isn't just creating a brand, he's creating a bloodline of builders, thinkers, and doers. Perhaps the most symbolic moment of this journey came when Derek resurrected that snow-covered Mustang. As the storm rolled in, most would have called it quits, but Derek kept wrenching through frozen bolts and impossible odds until the engine coughed and roared. It wasn't just a mechanical triumph, it was a metaphor for resilience, for revival, for the belief that nothing is ever too far gone. And that's what makes Vice Grip Garage more than just a channel. It's a philosophy, one that reminds us that beauty still lives in the broken, that dreams can be revived with the right tools and enough heart. Derek Bieri's version of wealth isn't draped in gold. It's found in freedom, family, and the fire to keep going when everything says stop. Let us know in the comments how Derek's story moved you. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more real stories with real heart.